Hello you guys, it is Christina and welcome back for episode 3 of testing out weird Spoonie products. I am so excited for this video because if this works, my life is going to be so much easier. Okay, so today we will be trying out Flyp. This is a nebulizer. Now I know that not everybody with a chronic illness has a use for a nebulizer, but I know that for me and a lot of others out there, it is a big part of our daily medical treatments. I have mast cell activation syndrome, so I take a medication called crumlin sodium. And crumlin sodium is a miracle. Don't know where I would be without it, but it's a very localized medication, so it really only works where it touches. Therefore, I have to take it through my feeding tube, I do a nasal spray, and I do a nebulizer. For me, the crumlin sodium nebulizers are prescribed for twice a day. I also have asthma, so whenever my mast cells flare up, my asthma flares up, so I'm doing crumlin sodium, I'm doing levalbuterol. All that to say, nebulizers are a big part of my life. And another big part of my life is medical travel. I have to see a lot of doctors out of state. I go see a physical therapist who is 2 hours away twice a week. I spend a lot of time traveling, and that means I have to bring my nebulizer with me. And let me tell you, with all of these other medical things that I have to bring with me, this stuff really piles up. Even so much as going over a friend's house is risky to me because who knows what might set off my mast cell, my allergies, my asthma, and then what? I'm stuck. I have to go home and do my nebulizer treatments. Apparently, until now. First things first, let's meet our competition. This is my nebulizer machine. Here is Flyp. So let's take this out of the picture and focus on this. Okay, so let's see what's inside. Alright, so right away we are being told that this product is easy to use, rechargeable, pocket-sized, and quiet, which is actually super important to me because I am basically nocturnal and I wake everybody up with my other machine. Alright, so it says start here. So start here we shall. Here we have a lot of instructions. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give these a good read through so we don't have a repeat of last episode, and I'll check in with you guys in a minute. Okay, so I've properly read through the instructions, which is very important. Obviously, your health is very important, and whenever you're breathing something in, you want to be very careful that you're doing it correctly. Another thing it comes with is this safety checklist and a checklist for cleaning and disinfecting. All of the things on this card are included in the instructions, but I think this is really helpful having that step-by-step guide just to make sure you're doing it right. So here is the device itself. And also underneath here we have a USB charger and a carrying case. Now, just for some comparison here, this is the device, this is my iPhone, and then this is the nebulizer I've been using. Okay, now how does this thing work? First, let's look at what we have here. So, I'm gonna flip it over and pull this down. Now this is your reservoir. This is where the medication is going to go. This little clear piece here is your stopper. You will remove this stopper here and then squeeze the ampule directly into the reservoir. I'm not going to do it right now. This is an empty ampule. I'm just showing you. And this reservoir does come fully out. I will explain why in a minute. Let's close that back up and flip it back over. Okay. Now, why is this product called Flyp, you may wonder? Well, that is because that is the mouthpiece. And I think the really cool thing about this is because it's magnetic, the mouthpiece comes fully off. So this is your machine. This is the on button. This is a light that will indicate if it's on and how charged the battery is. And here on the side, we have the USB charging port. Like I mentioned, this does come with a regular USB charger, but it is important to note that the machine cannot be used while the charger is plugged in. And believe it or not, that's pretty much it. So what are some possible mistakes that you could make? The instructions say, number 1, do not try to use it while it is plugged in. Number 2, when you are filling up the reservoir with the medication, never fill it up outside of the machine. Always keep it within the nebulizer itself when you are squeezing in the ampule. Now, how do you clean this? That's a really important step and should never be skipped when it comes to nebulizing. Again, we don't want any bacteria going into your lungs. Both the mouthpiece and the reservoir are removable and can be washed, but the machine itself should never get wet. The mouthpiece itself can be removed. The instructions say to just rinse it out with water and let it sit on a paper towel to dry. The reservoir, the instructions say fill the reservoir with distilled water. Then you want to close it back up and run the machine for 30 seconds. Obviously, don't inhale this. Once the 30 seconds is done, it should be nice and clean and you can empty whatever is left inside of the reservoir. If you do want to give it a bit of a deeper clean, there are instructions for cleaning it with rubbing alcohol. I'm not going to get super into that right now, but just know that there are options if you prefer your nebulizer to be just a little bit more sterile. So now that we've gone over all of that, I am going to go plug this in while I talk to you guys a little bit about what I am expecting from this product. Okay, so my Flyp is over there. It is charging. I don't know how long it takes to charge, but hopefully my first time trying it will be tonight. Let's talk a little bit about how I'm going to be judging this product. But I do want to start with the disclaimer that I didn't actually purchase this product. The company reached out to me having seen my Instagram and having seen my videos and thought that maybe a partnership would be a good fit. We went back and forth a little bit about how I was going to review, and I basically told them that I just wanted to follow these same methods of review that I've been doing. I wanted to be able to say whatever I wanted and test it however I liked, and I wanted to be able to pass on a discount code to you. They were very generous. They sent it to me free of charge, and they are going to give you a discount code. And beyond that, I am hands-free. I do not have any kind of stake in whether or not you buy this product. I'm not making any money. So basically you guys are getting my honest review and that's it. So what grounds am I going to be reviewing this on? Well, I'm going to first be reviewing whether or not it actually lives up to all of the things that it claims to do. Is it really as portable and easy to use as it claims? Does it work faster than a normal nebulizer? This machine has an automatic shut-off after 10 minutes, so theoretically no treatment should ever take longer than 10 minutes. Is it as quiet as it claims to be? Is it as easy to wash out as it claims to be? And obviously, you know, is it delivering the medication the way it should be? Are you getting the correct benefits? And what I'm kind of interested in is whether this is going to be a supplement to my regular nebulizing treatments, or if this replaces my regular nebulizer altogether. So that leads me to which tests am I gonna put it through. So I'm gonna charge it up. I'd like to see how long it takes to fully charge, and then I will use it tonight. And then I wanna try using it in the car, which is somewhere that I think that I would most frequently be using it. I'd like to see how long the battery lasts. And then of course I will put it through the cleaning process and all of that and see just how easy and effective that is. So I'm really not asking a ton of this product. I'm pretty much just asking it to work. If it does, I cannot even express how much easier that's going to make my life. So overall, I'm excited and hopeful, and I will check in with you guys through each part of this testing. Okay guys, I've got my Flyp right here and it's all charged up. I think it took about a couple hours to fully charge. Maybe a little bit less than that. I wasn't checking on it constantly, but here it is and it's all ready to test out. So let's give this a go. Flip up the mouthpiece and just hit the on button. Whoa. Wow, this thing is so quiet. If you can hear any noise, I think that's actually my saline pump. Listen. You can barely hear it. It just sounds like mist. Whoa. You guys, My mind is kind of blown. This thing only took 5 minutes to administer the entire medication. So quiet, you really can barely hear it. It's just like this little sound of mist. The sound that you can hear right now, that's my saline pump, and that's louder than this. This is how loud my old machine was. I'm gonna check the reservoir just to make sure that all of the medication is out. Yeah, it's gone. 5 minutes. Usually this medication takes me 15 to 20 minutes. And I know that my other nebulizer really isn't that great and there are faster ones, but I have never had an experience like this before. Pretty incredible. My breathing feels better. So I definitely feel like the medication got where it needed to go. It's doing what it needs to do. I'm just really shocked. So let's try out the cleaning feature. The instructions say to fill up the little reservoir with distilled water and then run this for 30 seconds. And then I can just rinse the mouthpiece under some water and let it dry on a paper towel. It says to be very careful not to spill the water on the machine itself. It recommends using a dropper, which unfortunately I didn't have. So I'm actually going to just reuse the little ampule the medicine came in. I cleaned it out and I put a little bit of water in it. This is kind of just for show. I'll probably find a dropper and give it a real cleaning again before I use it. But let's just try this. Now you can just remove the mouthpiece, and then it says dump out whatever water is left inside of the reservoir. Okay, I did that and it's still a little bit wet, so I think I'll just let these dry together. Hello guys, well, as you can see, I am in the car and I decided that this would be a perfect time to give this a try. For me, the car was definitely the first place I thought of when I thought about having a portable nebulizer, because I do spend a lot of time in the car and I wanted to see if it was still just as easy to set up and fill up and use in the car as it was in my own bed. Here goes nothing. Okay, so I just finished my treatment. It was very easy. This time it took a total of 6 minutes to finish the entire treatment. Mom, what did you think of it this time?
I couldn't even hear it.
Yeah, it's completely silent, basically. Much quieter than my other one, right?
Yes.
So I really like that because I go to sleep a lot later than some other people in my house. And especially when we're traveling, a lot of times we're sharing a room, or I have someone who's staying in their room right next door. And so I get very nervous about waking other people up. And like I said, usually it takes me like 15-20 minutes for my treatment. So I have been known to skip treatments just because it's gotten too late and I don't want to wake people up. Now, one thing I did notice this time, that wasn't really a problem last time, is that my jaw got really sore. I have TMJ, I wear a splint on my back teeth, so I already have very limited mouth opening and the splint makes that worse. I think that maybe last time I tried it I was not wearing my splint, but I really should be at all times. So I wish that maybe there was a mask attachment, because usually I use a mask over a mouthpiece, but because it only takes about 5 minutes, it's not a huge problem. I know this is a fairly new product. In the future, I really would like to see them come out with a mask attachment. I think that would be beneficial to me, and it would also be beneficial to other people who can't use the mouthpiece. You know, everyone has their preferences, but besides that, this was great. I mean, I'm gonna be using this in the car probably all the time. This is gonna like cut off maybe 15-20 minutes of my morning routine, and that's a big deal. You know, that's another 15-20 minutes of sleep, and we definitely take what we can get in the sleep department. So the Flyp definitely passed the car test. This is my first nebulizer of the day, and I'm planning on doing at least one more today. So I'm not gonna plug this into the charger, and I'm gonna see if the battery lasts all the way until tonight when I do my next nebulizer. First of all, hi. I am about to do my second treatment on a single charge with my Flyp. I'm really curious to see how long the battery lasts on this, so I've decided I'm going to just not charge it and see just how many uses I can get out of this on one battery charge. So here we go. Okay guys, so I tried to do my third treatment on one charge with this Flyp and it didn't really work. Plugged it back into the charger, left it to charge for a few hours, and it's working perfectly fine again. So it looks like maybe you can get 2 treatments out of a charge, but this is actually kind of a day later. I skipped a day. I don't know if that affects the battery life at all, even though it was off. I'd like to maybe play around with that a little bit again. 2 uses out of 1 charge is still pretty darn good. Okay guys, so my last battery test on the Flyp showed me that I could only really get 2 full treatments out of 1 charge, but I'm wondering if the fact that those treatments were so spread out has anything to do with it. For instance, the first 2 treatments were morning and night in the same day, and then I actually skipped an entire day and then did a morning treatment. And I happened to wake up this morning with a little bit of a tight chest, so I'm actually going to be doing my regular treatment plus another medication to open up my lungs. So I'll be doing 2 doses in the morning and then probably just my evening dose, and I want to see if that makes any difference to the battery life. And it's kind of cool because I can actually fit all 3 vials inside of the case with the machine, as well as I ordered a dropper off of Amazon so that it'll be a little bit easier when I try to clean it out, and that also fits right within the pack. Hello you guys, I am back. It has been a few months and I am here to check in with you guys about how things have gone with my Flyp portable nebulizer. So I've put it through all of the tests. I've filmed them all for you except for the sanitization one, which I'm going to do right now as we have a little chat. According to the instructions, to sanitize the machine, you take the mouthpiece off, then you will take a dropper of rubbing alcohol, which I happen to have right here, and you want to just put enough to cover this little silver disc here, and then you let that sit for 10 minutes. I will take that time to continue my review. So overall, how did things go? The answer to that is pretty darn well. I have been using this product pretty religiously for the last few months, with the exception of about a month that I spent in the hospital where I had to use their nebulizer instead. I have found that I am now getting like 3 to 4 uses out of 1 single battery charge now that I'm using it in my schedule more regularly. Before it was a bit more sporadic and I was getting less use from 1 battery charge. And I felt like it held up well to the frequent use. I don't notice that it's any slower or that it's not working quite as well as when I first got it. So overall, am I happy with this product? Yes. Would I recommend this product? Yes. But this product isn't perfect. There are a few little hiccups that I ran into. The major complaint that I have is that this can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, because this product was specifically designed to be small and sleek. The little mesh discs that deliver the mist are also small and sleek, and that makes them a little bit susceptible to getting clogged up, especially with moisture and condensation. So what does that mean for the user? Well, you inhale the mist, and then when you exhale, a lot of times you end up with these little moisture droplets inside, mostly in the mouthpiece, which if you've used a nebulizer before, you know that it's pretty usual to have a little bit of condensation in there. It's just the nature of a nebulizer, right? That's what it is. It's vaporized liquid. So occasionally for me, some of that condensation ends up covering that little disc there, and that kind of stopped the flow of the mist even though there was still medication left in the reservoir. I did also have an incident with the mist stopping, and that was when I was in the car and I did 2 separate treatments, but not necessarily right back to back. So I realized that there was an issue going on here if the mist was stopping, and I wanted to know why, and I wanted to know if anyone else was having this problem. So I turned to the internet. Okay, it's been 10 minutes with the rubbing alcohol on here, so it says to just shake off any excess and then flip it over and do the same thing I just did with the little disc that sits under the reservoir in the back. So when I went on the internet, what I discovered was that I was not alone in this problem. And the best advice that seemed to be going around on the internet was to inhale through the mouthpiece but to exhale outside of the machine. That way you're not reintroducing the condensation into the Flyp itself. That was when I contacted the company directly. The company emailed me back right away, and they really stressed the importance of cleaning out the machine and keeping those discs clear and dry after every single use. They told me that the incident in the car probably happened because my medication dried on that disc, and so when I went to do my second treatment, that disc was blocked off by the previous medication, which makes total sense. And they even gave me instructions for clearing out the discs completely using vinegar. I didn't have to do that. Just putting water on the discs and then running water through it totally cleared up that issue. So now every single time I use it, I make sure that I clean it properly and run water through it afterwards, and I have never had that issue again. I figured that the cleaning process would kind of be a giant hassle, especially in the car, but it actually has ended up being no big deal. I just keep the eyedropper in the case, and I always have a bottle of distilled water with me anyway, so not really a big problem. And I do have to say I was really impressed by the speed and the thoughtfulness with which the company replied to my email. They made it clear that if that didn't solve my problem, that they were still willing to help me troubleshoot and problem solve. So I was really impressed with their customer service. I have not found all companies to be so helpful. Although the company did not confirm that there is any reasonable need to exhale outside of the machine, I, in practice, do think that that does help the condensation issue. So let's talk about that condensation issue, because there is no denying that that is an issue, which is the same conclusion that the other users on the internet had come to. For some people, that was a deal breaker, and for me, it really isn't. I do sometimes exhale outside of the machine if I can see the condensation building up, or if I feel like the mist is slowing down a little bit, I'll just give it some taps on the side with my finger to try to keep the moisture out of that disc. And on the occasions when the mist does completely shut down, I just turn the device off, take off the mouthpiece, give it a little shake, and then I take a sterile gauze pad, or really just like a paper towel, and then just put it over the disc to absorb that condensation, pop the mouthpiece back on, turn it back on. It works like a charm. Big picture, it really doesn't bother me that much. Yes, I think it's a design flaw, but it is a flaw that I'm willing to overlook because I feel like it's a flaw that enables the device to be what it is, and that is small, sleek, portable, cordless, fast, silent, and that is exactly what the box and the company advertised from day one. It did fit all of the criteria that I said I would be judging it on. So we talked about the cons, I talked about the pros. I mentioned earlier in the video 2 things that I feel like this product should have come with. Number 1, the dropper, which is very important for the use of this product, and number 2, maybe a mask attachment for those of us who prefer to use a mask over a mouthpiece. I'm not going to dock the product for not including them because those weren't part of my criteria, but I feel like they would have made everyday use just a little bit easier, especially the dropper. Why would it not come with a dropper? I'll make sure to list this one on Amazon if you guys decide to order this product. It's glass and it perfectly fits in the container. Alright, it's been 10 minutes on this side now, so I'm just going to shake out the excess alcohol. I'm just going to repeat what I just did with distilled water. Now, I still didn't answer my standout question from the beginning, and that was, is this product going to replace what I already have, or is it going to just supplement my day-to-day routine? And so far, since I've pretty much not been home since I received this product, this has been my one and only. I have been using this for all of my nebulizer treatments except the ones I was given in the hospital. So right now, this has completely replaced all use of my other nebulizer machine. But now that I'm home, I may decide to go back and forth. If I'm having a bad jaw day, I may decide that I need to use the mask instead of a mouthpiece, or this might be charging and I will have the emergency need to use something. But it seems like that kind of means instead of this being a supplement to my regular nebulizing, this has turned into my primary machine, and that has kind of turned into my backup. Now, say you're like an asthmatic, or you just use your nebulizer treatments sporadically, I don't think that there's really a need for you to have multiple machines. I think that this would just be enough. But if you're like a cystic fibrosis patient who's doing like 5 treatments a day of antibiotics and all this stuff, I would say that probably this isn't going to be your main machine. By the way, if you are taking any kind of unique or specialized medications, I would maybe check with the company first just to make sure that this device supports those medications, because I wouldn't want you to spend your money on something that you can't use. And that brings us to pricing. I'm gonna flip this and add water to the disc in the back. So, pricing. This is like your run-of-the-mill. I think we bought this in like the town medical supply company, and this put us out around $50. And I think that this came with one tube and one mouthpiece. For some reason, I don't get the tubing and mouthpieces and masks sent to me by my insurance company. We've been paying for those ourselves. I always meant to get on top of it, but it didn't happen. So obviously that's an extra cost on top of it. And I know a lot of other nebulizing machines like this can be a little bit more expensive, but I would say most of them are gonna be under the $100 mark. This product is a little bit more pricey, and I don't think it's covered by insurance. You could try, but you don't have to think about replacement tubing and masks and mouthpieces if you are paying out of pocket like I am. This product retails on their website for about $200, which I know is steep. Luckily, this company has been so nice, and they have offered me a promo code to pass on to you guys, which hopefully can make it just that much more affordable to you. I will put the discount code right here and all of the information about that down in the description box below. Okay, the last step of the sanitization process, shake out that water, put the little reservoir back in, fill that up with water, put the mouthpiece back on, turn it on. It has an automatic turn off after 10 minutes, and it will be sanitized. Voila! I'm gonna move it over here so I'm not like breathing in alcohol fumes. So overall, I've given you the pros, I've given you the cons, I've given my suggestions, I've given my opinion, I've given you a promo code. From there, it's really up to you about whether or not this is a product that would fit your lifestyle and fit your needs, as well as your budget, because I do understand that that's a huge factor. Like I said in the beginning, I was sent this product in exchange for this honest review. But it is my honest review when I tell you I would pay the money for this. If there is something that can make my life a little bit easier and give me back a little bit of time and energy that doesn't have anything to do with my health, it is worth it for me. And honestly, having the privilege to use this product over the last few months has really changed my attitude towards nebulizing in general. I have missed far fewer doses than before, because I just no longer have the excuse of the inconvenience. And I've noticed that my health has really benefited from that. And that's all I have to say. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, I make some educational videos as well as weekly vlogs, and there will be a lot more product testing videos up on this channel soon. So if you hit that subscribe button and you hit that bell, you'll be notified as soon as I do upload one of those videos. I also am currently running a giveaway this month, October of 2018, for one of those big U-shaped body pregnancy pillows. So if you want to learn more about that, I'll leave that link down below as well. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!